Yeah. A citizen of the United States? Yes. Mhm. I owe my allegiance thereto? Yeah. Uh huh. We do not have any allegiance to any family, do we, Elizabeth? Yes. Mhm. There's not a royal family in the world that any citizen owes allegiance to. Now, it seemed that a lot of royal families, they were attempting, yes, to violate the necessary laws of this state, yeah, the United States. Now, I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Washington. Yeah. Hmm. I will maintain the respect due to courts of justice and judicial officers. Yeah. I will not counsel or maintain any suit or proceeding which shall appear to me to be unjust. Yes. That means you will not issue traffic citations that accuse innocent American citizens of having committed any crime unless you do have the actual evidence. Will you? You won't say that somebody's in a city when they're not. Yes. You won't issue criminal complaints that say that they were in another county when they weren't. Yeah. You won't arbitrarily decide that you're going to violate the attorney oath. Yes. See, these proceedings that I've had to participate in, yes, they obviously have been unjust. Yes. I should have never had to go to Jefferson County. Yeah. I wasn't in Jefferson County. No. Hadn't been there for approximately 15 years. At least at Brennan, I hadn't been. No. And I didn't email anybody in the Brennan School District. Mhm. Now, somebody's been paying for some shows. Yes. Is there any royal families anywhere in the world that have knowledge, yes, of any court appearing to be unjust? Because I've been the victim of terrorism. Now, nor any defense except such as I believe to be honestly debatable. Yes. Now, I was on the bus that morning. Yeah. I was in the library on December 31st. Right. And then there's the thought of issuing a failure to appear. Right. Where I asked for the state of jurisdiction. So, but everything was going to Mike Van Proyen. Yes. And Mike said, well, it's my responsibility. You know, I really do want Mike prosecuted for obstructing my right to receive court notices. Because as a homeless man, it could have been that the police or the sheriff could have served me notice of court hearings, considering they did know I was homeless because the traffic citation said I was homeless. Mhm. So you've been making up bullshit again right now. You know who I am. You could have served me notice of the arraignment, yeah, in Jefferson County. And is that a civil matter or is that a criminal matter? Mm-mm. See, it says criminal complaint. Yeah. It accuses a crime. Yes. But when you use a prosecuting attorney's office to sue somebody, yes, for cyber stalking and violating the restraint provisions of the fraudulent protection order, yes. Are you sure it's not civil? Ouch. See, there's a possibility, yes, that it could have been a civil matter where the petitioner accused an individual, yes, of what they would consider it being a crime, but it's really a civil. Well, if I'd gotten notice from the state of jurisdiction and I had appeared in court on my own behalf, yes, are you sure that it's criminal, or is it a lawsuit accusing an individual of a crime? Now, when I look at all these criminal complaints that are used by any prosecuting attorney's office, yes, in all the superior courts throughout this great nation, I think the criminal complaint being used in a district court case, yes, is a flagrant abuse of power. Because as I looked at the criminal complaints, yes, they usually involve investigating public officials of felonies. Oh, why don't we do a comparison of every criminal complaint of all the district attorneys in each and every county and state? Yes, the attorney generals in each state, ouch, and then the criminal complaint in district courts and superior courts. How many individuals are actually a recipient of a criminal complaint? Yes, in a district court proceeding. Yes, when it's a gross misdemeanor per se. And since you didn't read me my Miranda rights, yes, Mike was getting notice of court hearing. Yes, and I was being obstructed from being able to appear in court. Yes, it looks like the prosecuting attorney Well, I just don't think that you use criminal complaints that often in district court cases. At least my understanding. Now, were you intentionally targeting me with the criminal complaint? Yeah. Since I wasn't there, you remember the videos I was making that day? Yeah. I was in the senior center? Yes. I was at the house sitting location? Yes. Did you get an email that day? See, somebody's been violating this attorney oath? Yes. And I think there are some prosecuting attorneys that thought, well, when you're taken to jail and you're accused of domestic violence because one of the two individuals has to be taken to jail, yes, and that causes a Superior Court case number to be generated, yes, because the police arrested an individual, yes, they now have a criminal record. Oh, the accusation of being guilty before being found innocent. Right now. How many prosecuting attorneys realize the importance of the indigent having legal representation? And how many prosecuting attorneys have obstructed the rights of those that are indigent, yeah, from being able to have an attorney represent them in what is a criminal trial but is also civil? See, you can issue a temporary protection order based upon an arrest and accusation of domestic violence. Yes, you can. But once you go through that whole process of the criminal charges, yes, the issuance of the protection order becomes a, well, why don't you get me all the domestic violence arrests? For violating the restraint provisions of dissolutions of marriage and protection orders. Yes. And since it is state law that one of the two has to be arrested, let's go ahead. I would say it's both criminal and civil, isn't it? Yes. Does the judge decide? Well, now, it looks like somebody's been violating their oath of admission. Yes, it is. See, I don't really think that prosecuting attorneys use criminal complaints in district court cases because they're misdemeanor and gross misdemeanor. Usually, the criminal complaint process involves felony. Yes, it does. And since you refuse, well, why don't you get me each of those that are arrested? Yes, that go to jail. They're arraigned on the accusation of domestic violence. Yes, it's a criminal charge. Gross misdemeanor per se, serious crime. But the actual issuance of a protection order, known as a permanent protection court hearing, could require a different attorney because it's a civil matter of child custody.